Hello once again, witchy people. Welcome back to another Making the Mundane Magical Mondays. So it is the beginning of November, and this video is going to get slightly confusing because I'm going to say the word Christmas a lot. I don't celebrate Christmas as Christ Mass. I just don't. But saying the word saying the word Christmas is a lot easier than trying to explain what I'm about to explain every time. So, I was not brought up in a pagan household. Well, I kind of was, but we weren't outwardly pagan. We weren't witches or anything like that. My father was Jewish. My mum at the time was this hippie, weird and wonderful woman. Still is, but now she's a born again Christian. So we were brought up in very much a pagan hippie sort of way, without actually referring to like witchcraft or anything like that. So that's where I'm coming from. So beginning of November, I put up my Christmas tree. It's already up. It goes up on the 1st of November every year. And it's a ritual that really has stuck, and come Boxing Day, November the 26th, everything is taken down. That's just how this household works. Except for this year, where apparently I have to keep the decorations up for one extra day because of lockdown and the pandemic. I'm not going to be able to have all my children and grandchildren together at once. So some of them are coming Christmas Day, some of them are coming Boxing Day. So I have an extension. Anyway, what has this got to... Sorry, my hair's really annoying me. What has this got to do with making the Mundane Magickal on Mondays? And it really was thinking about how... I think the reason I started putting up the tree on November the 1st was partly because I knew it would come down early. But I love Christmas. And once again, I'm not talking about Christ Mass. I'm not talking about Christmas as a Christian festival. I'm talking about basically Yule, the whole build up to it. So I love all of that. I love Yule. I love the small things that we all do. And I miss it. And to put the tree up for 12 days a year seemed to me pointless. You know, there is magic. Whether you celebrate as Christmas or Yule or a bit of everything chucked in together, as a pagan, a Christian, you know, if you celebrate this time of year with Jewish festivals or Muslim festivals, whatever, there is magic here. And I want that magic to be as long as possible. Now, you may think that I would get slightly bored. And I think I do. By the time it comes to Boxing Day, I am ready for the decorations to go. There is still this magical time. But for me, and I think it has a lot to do with really Christmas carries on from Christmas till 12th night. And that to me is quite Christian. And I don't celebrate that at all. I don't celebrate the New Year because it's not really my New Year. So to make mundane, boring, in between November. I'm sorry, November is very much what I call an in-between. Even the Jewish faith has a name for this month because nothing special happens in it. There is, or is that October? But basically a month of no celebrations they have a special name for. Although you do have like Rosh Hashanah and such like, and I know this because my daughter, my eldest daughter, was born on Rosh Hashanah, the year that she was born. Rosh Hashanah was September the 30th, and it changes each year. So there's not a lot that goes on in November. Certainly sort of like the second half of the month, there's nothing. So to put magic into it, I don't celebrate early, but I plan the celebrations. So presents are wrapped. I am, once again, for the last 2 years now, I've been a bit behind. Usually I have all my shopping and gift wrapping and everything done by September. That's the rule. So it's all out of the way. It's all packed away nicely until November the 1st, but everything comes out and the tree's there and all the presents are there, and it's very, very magical. So I don't have a lot of like decorations up on the ceiling. I have a tree. I have stockings. Because once again, I find the tree is not a Christian symbol. The stockings are not a Christian symbol. The only Christian thing I can say that how I celebrate Christmas is the word Christmas. I think maybe for some Christians that's a little bit, it's a little bit rude, I suppose, irreverent maybe. But the word Christmas and Christmas as a holiday has become so ingrained with Yule, and such a mishmash. And we know that for all the different celebrations throughout the year, Sabbats and Esbats and full moon celebrations, that for the most part you can separate very much Christian and pagan festivals. With Christmas, I think that's quite different. Because we know that if you believe in the Bible, you do know that Christ was not born on December the 25th. That is purely a pagan festival. Slightly moved, obviously, because the pagan festival is 21st, 22nd of December. So, but once again, it kind of changes because it's a seasonal thing rather than a dated thing. It can change slightly. Halloween itself is a Christian festival, but it is based very much on a pagan celebration. Easter, Ostara, you can see the significance of the two, how similar those two names are. So there are definitely, these times of year where, yes, Christianity did kind of stand on pagans' coattails and ride along with and it was very clever of them to do so, and I don't think it was wrong necessarily. It certainly seemed to make the transition from a pagan country to a more Christian or Christianized country a lot easier and a lot more acceptable to most people. It was just how it is. So it's very easy for this whole mishmash of Christmas and Yule to get very enmeshed together. But like I say, the only thing I celebrate as Christmas is the word Christmas. Gift giving is it is based in paganism, and heathenry, and it's not a Christian thing. So by putting up my decorations early, well, my tree anyway, I am certainly putting the magic back into the mundane of November. It's not just a particular day or any particular time I can do this, but for November, that has, for me, between sort of like November 1st, November 2nd, sort of like when Samhain is definitely over, or Samhain, as some people say. When that is kind of finishing, November the 2nd, roughly-ish, it's certainly, there's almost void, a letdown, a bit of a slump between then and Yule. And whereas most people, like, you know, they're expectantly waiting for December the 1st to put up decorations and start thinking about everything that's going on, for me certainly it starts November the 1st, because it is definitely a time for me to put magic back into my life, and this is how I do it. And like I say, it's not celebrating this time of year as such. It's not thinking about what may or may not be on my altar, whether I'll have my altar out. It's nothing like that. It is specifically the planning and the magic that is in planning, writing a list, and the excitement you feel about. And it's not even about receiving gifts. It's about giving something to someone that you hope means something to them. So there it is. Putting magic, not just in a mundane moment and making it magical, but a mundane month. Bringing that magic forward. And I wanted to explain a bit why I quite often call it Christmas. It's not because, like I say, I wasn't brought up as a Christian, because my dad wasn't a Christian, he's passed on. My dad was Jewish. You know, and the only time when between beginning of November and Yule, and the decorations that come down, the only time when the lights are off is a day in December when my father passed away. Then the lights go out. For that one day, the lights go out. And I think it's almost like, he hated Christmas, by the way. He wasn't very fond of Christmas. It didn't mean a lot to him. The only thing he loved about Christmas was family. That's the only thing that really was important to him. And I could explain a lot about that, but I won't. It's a very long and convoluted story. But he didn't enjoy Christmas. But he loved making Christmas special for his family. His children especially. Where his children and his wife are always the most important thing to him. And I think it's a credit to the man that his family was even more important than his religion and his faith. That is saying something about how special my dad was. And still is in my heart, obviously. Anyway, I am digressing completely, and I know this is a real waffly video. But I wanted to encompass quite a lot of things, but I have put the magic back into my Novembers, and have done for many, many years now, by putting my tree up early. And yes, I have a female figure on top of my tree. I don't have a star. I don't think I've ever had a star on top of my tree. And strangely enough, we've always referred to this female figure on top of my tree as the goddess. Except for when my daughter was very, very tiny, we did have a little angel, and she was a little angel because that was a representative of my daughter, because when she was born, she passed away and we had to bring her back. I know I'm going off on tangents again, aren't I? Long, convoluted story. Yeah, she was born dead and they had to bring her back. And so we bought this angel. She was born end of September. We bought this angel to put on the tree as a representative of her, because she was almost an angel baby. But other than that, we've always had this, and she's really falling apart now, this beautiful gold figurine. You know, she has got wings, but she's the goddess, and she always has been the goddess for more than 30 years. She's been the goddess on the tree. And I think that's part of it as well. You can celebrate Christmas without celebrating Christ Mass. You can celebrate using things that are considered to be almost Christian-like. Like the tree is considered now to be a Christian representation. It's not. It's a representation of the Yule log for many people, which obviously is pagan. Gift giving is a pagan representation. So you can think about how you celebrate, and whether you celebrate with Christian friends or pagan friends or any different religion. In your heart, you know that the magic of Christmas for you is the magic of paganism and Yule. So, putting up my tree and my few decorations is very much, like I said, a magical time, and we tend to put on Christmas music or Christmas films, as long as they're not religious based. To be honest, if they tend to be sort of like Jesus, Mary and Joseph, then we don't tend to watch them, simply because it's not something that we associate with in our family. But gift giving and forgiving each other and making plans and being together as a family is something that we all plan, I think, at this time of year, no matter what faith we are. Like I say, I like to start early. I like to put my magic back in November by putting up my decorations, wrapping my presents, and thinking. There's definitely a magic in thinking about how people may react to what you've bought them, and to think really carefully about what they might need or want. And I think that is putting magic into something. You are putting your whole thought process and your intention into picking something for someone that you hope will be perfect for them. And that's magical. And I know many of us don't leave all our Christmas shopping, Yuletide shopping, until December. We quite often start early. So put some magic back in and think about it in a magical way. I have waffled on about lots of things, so I am going to leave you in peace now. And I'm going to have a very early night because I went out shopping today on foot. I walked to a local shopping centre and did shopping, and then walked back home again. It's only about half a mile, but I did it, and I'm very proud of myself because, as many of you viewers will know, I am severely agoraphobic, and for me to actually get outside is a huge fuss. You know, it's something to be really made a fuss of. So that's what I did today, and everyone's been sort of like, "Oh, you went out, isn't it amazing?" And I shook for an hour before I went out, and I was shaking for an hour after I came back, and it's totally worn me out. So I'm going, thank you very much, witchy people. And I've got to be very careful. I had to record this 3 times because I kept on calling you all my you know, the whole pitchy weeple, and instead of witchy people, and I didn't have my microphone on, and then there was something wrong with something else, and then someone knocked on the door. Anyway, waffling again. Thank you. Oh, there goes the fireworks. The dog's going to be absolutely frantic now under my chair, around my feet. Hello, Barkley. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So I better go. I have a cat and 3 dogs to look after whilst they're letting off fireworks, and it's not even the right time. Thank you for watching. I will be back very soon. Bye for now.